Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World Wrestling Affliction Wrestle Empire, the final PLE of the season. We are kicking it off with TK Landon and Two Fly Stormzy having a bit of a stare down before their match. Now, this match started a couple of weeks ago when these two had a face to face backstage, and Stormzy said, "Look, I'm no longer part of Bushido. I want to end this just us, no Bushido, no nonsense." And that's how this match started off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to apologize breaking kayfabe, but just a second. I know I promised that these videos would come out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but early Monday morning I had a bad fall and I ended up in hospital overnight. And then I got home late Tuesday night, and then yesterday I recovered. So today I'm going to try to sit down and record all three parts and get them all uploaded for you all in one go, so you can just watch all of Wrestle Empire, Night 1, Night 2, and Night 3, all in one go. And then the season will be over, and then as of recording this, I think we're like under 24 hours away from early access for WWE2K26. So that will be an epic. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog making noises in the background. That will be an epic event for me. I'll be able to sit down and start working on my 2K26 characters, so that in a week or two, I'm aiming more closer to 2 weeks to try rest my voice a bit and hopefully recover from this cough a bit. That I'll be able to get you guys started with the next season. But for now, going back into kayfabe, this has basically been Two Fly Stormzy. Sorry, it's been a while since I've called him Flyboy Jack Storm. I almost called him that. Two Fly Stormzy has basically dominated this match, already busting open TK Landon in the early goings of this match. Now, these two have a history rivalry. They were former best friends, training partners, former faction members in the original Rebel Club many years ago. And Two Fly Stormzy, then known as Flyboy Jack Storm, turned on TK Landon after they had been unsuccessful in winning the tag titles once again in their career, and kind of disappeared off the scene for a bit. TK Landon not too far behind him, leaving that same year from wrestling, only recently coming back as of last year. Both of them, for a matter of fact. Now we got a nice submission lock going, and TK Landon kicking out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing night here for Wrestle Empire across all three nights, confirmed. I mean, we have this match. We have the three-way dance for the women's world title. I'm just riffing off the top of my head here. We have formerly the Parabellum, Matoda Lee and Diego Natoli taking on the Pride of Next Gen for the tag team championships. The women's tag team championships, a triple threat ladder match. We have a title for title match, as the Intercontinental and Light Heavyweight champions will be facing off. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what other matches we got. I know we've obviously got the main event, the 3 stages of hell between Castro and Trav. Obviously, that'll be our main event of night 3. And it will be, the 3 stages will be a singles match, then a Falls Count Anywhere, and then if we still need a third point, it'll be a Hell in a Cell match. TK Landon with the 2 count there. Now I know that we've got a couple more matches. I just can't think of of them at the top of my head. Oh, we obviously have Tyson Walker. Tyson Walker has challenged Pollux and Luther Ramon, and we still don't know who his tag team partner is. He said he had someone on speed dial, so that's an interesting thing. And I know we have a couple more matches, but my mind is blanking right now as to what those matches are. But I know that they're going to be bangers, and this is going to be one hell of a final end to a PLE. Oh, obviously, I can't forget the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Rose Hamilton and Hannah O'Grady to finally wrap up their feud that has been going on for months now over that Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I'm sure we have a couple more matches planned. I just can't, for the life of me, think of what they are at the top of my head. I'm sure they'll come to me as the matches start, obviously. And here we go with the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Two Fly Stormzy beat TK Landon. Finally settling the score between these two. Oh, what's happening now? The stare down between these two. And Stormzy offering the handshake. And Landon just shoulder charging him out of the way. He's not having it. And Two Fly Stormzy celebrating the win there. Congratulations to Stormzy in kicking off Wrestle Empire in what was a fairly quick match. TK Landon couldn't believe how that match transpired. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, we kick off with another match that I forgot to mention. It is a tag team table match. And it is the fallout of the Michaels family. Luis Luchadores, El Hijo de Vex, and Riley Perkins very jealous of High Voltage and them getting countless title shots last month at Legacy, ruined their chances by El Hijo de Vex attacking and assaulting assaulting them backstage and costing them the tag title match, and that's how this spanned. Mr. Peter Michaels has set this match up and said that the winners get to keep their spot in the family Michaels. Meanwhile, the losers will be kicked from the team. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. High Voltage also representing the family Michaels. Paradigm Jr. and Ledesma kicking it off. High Voltage representing the family of Mr. Peter Michaels. And what an amazing showing it's going to be between these two teams. A reminder, the winning team keeps the managerial skills of Mr. Peter Michaels. The losing team is kicked from the family. So this is going to be a very interesting showing on how these two play out. And we're starting it off. High Voltage very much starting this match off in the dominant force, doing the good lucha thing, these two teams, with the nice flips left, right, and center. Oh, Riley Perkins just missed that amazing split-legged moonsault off of the... Well, it wasn't really split-legged, but a double-leg moonsault off of that top rope. onto, I believe it's Ledesma on the outside and Paradigm Jr. on the inside. I swear next season I'm gonna find a way to remember which one's which. I made their gear way too similar. I thought changing the colors would help me remember, and I forgot, so. But here we go, the first table brought into the ring. Now in this tag team ladder match, it is the first team to be put through a table loses. And there you see the second table brought into the ring now. First one set up. And it seems as though Ledesma saved his tag team partner there. Oh, that was so close to putting his opponent through the table there. And these two teams fighting so close. Oh my god, through the table. And as I was about to say, these two teams fighting so close to that table, it just takes one move to end this match. And after the good lucha thing that these two put on, it comes out as Los Luchadores are the ones that come out victorious after what was a brilliant suplex there from, I believe, El Hero de Vex. Yes, El Hero de Vex, nice back suplex there, right through the table. Congratulations to them. They keep their managerial skills of Mr. Peter Michaels. And High Voltage have been kicked from the family. And, you know, I've got to commend it to them. That was one very quick, once again, two very quick matches here. We're only about 12 minutes into the card and we've already had two matches. But I promise you, this won't be a trend for much longer, as I'm sure some of these more serious matches will take longer. And oh, here we go. Another match that I forgot to mention. The downfall of the Rebel Club in the women's division. Now, Cameron Newton, Taryn Sky, former best friends, working together for so long. And then last month at Legacy, we saw that shocking Snapman pin, ending the women's tag team title match in split seconds. And Cameron Newton just snapped, turning on Taryn Sky. And here's Taryn Sky. Someone who started this season off very strong, being the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion, but then had a bit of a downfall after losing the title to the villain Olivia Jade. Getting assaulted by Olivia Jade and Amber Valentine, and that's what started the whole trend of Cameron Newton and Taryn Sky teaming. And then you had the Four Corners women's tag team title match where Taryn Sky was going 1-on-2 against the Lane Twins. And due to a ref taking forever, almost 10 seconds after the Sky's the limit to make a pinfall, Taryn Sky could very well have won that match for Rebel Club And this whole match could have been avoided. But ever since they've failed time and time again to win those titles back from the Lane twins, and after last month at Legacy, they were no longer allowed to challenge for the tag team titles, and Cameron Newton just snapped and turned on Taryn Sky. And it was very clear that Cameron Newton was only using Taryn Sky to get tag team gold. Was their plan to turn on Taryn and get a new tag team partner the whole time? I don't know. But all I know is Cameron Newton saw Taryn Sky as a disposable help. And the moment that she wasn't helpful anymore, she turned on someone who considered her a good friend. And these two showing their nice wrestling skills, locking up here in some chain wrestling. Something you wouldn't expect in such a heated rivalry like this is them to try out wrestle each other. Oh, here we go. Taryn Sky. Now you gotta think. A nice trip up there from Taryn Sky. But you gotta think. Coming into this match, Taryn Sky is 2 against none so far against Cameron Newton. Though she did lose on the go home show because of Cameron Newton playing her music and distracting her. And here we go, back and forth with the punches, with the strikes. This is what we expected from this match. These two just trying to beat each other up, beat each other senseless. Now Taryn Sky to the top rope with the 450 splash, just missing it. Big knee to the face there. Now that same move is one of the moves that put Cameron Newton down in one of the matches throughout this last month. It goes to the cover now. 1, 2, kick out at 2. Definitely not enough to put Taryn Sky down for the 3 count here. And I'm just getting word in my ears. Oh, Sky's the limit. Goes to the cover now. 1, 2, 3. No, so close to a 3 count. As I was saying, I'm just getting word in my ears. The general manager has announced the winner of this match will walk into the first PLE of next season as the #1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Champion. So there's more at stake here than just this heated rivalry. There's also #1 competition going on in that match. Our general manager wants to see the end of the Rose Hamilton, Hannah O'Grady rivalry that's been going on. Now Taryn Sky calling her to stand up. Nice arm drag off the second rope there. This has been Taryn Sky's match for the most part. Cameron, I apologize there, I was about to have a coughing fit. Cameron Newton has gotten a bit of hits in, but Taryn Sky, for the most part, sky's the limit once again. Goes to the cover. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. And Taryn Sky's done it. Taryn Sky is going on to next season the #1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She could start her next season off the same way she started this one off, walking out of the first Women's Intercontinental match of the season as champion. And that was one hell of a showing from Taryn Sky. That was her match through and through. As I said, Cameron Newton got a few good hits in, but it was Taryn Sky who just dominated and carried that match, fighting hard. She didn't even know that she was going to be number one contender. They hadn't been told that. That was just announced through my headset during this match. So she's not only beaten the person who's been tormenting her for a month, turned her back on her, but she's going to walk backstage to be notified that she is the number one contender for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So, congratulations to Taryn Sky. That was one epic match. Now we move on to our next match, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are already at our main event of the evening here in night one of Wrestle Empire, and it seems Matoda Lee and Diego Natoli have made reprimands with their former tag team partner in Jeremiah Stone. The same man that Matoda Lee excommunicated from Parabellum. And they're now known as the Kings of Violence. And I actually heard the fans getting behind these guys for the first time in their career. And, well, for Jeremiah Stone, the first time since the first time since he turned from Jay Stone to Jeremiah Stone has been cheered ever since he got kicked from Parabellum. Now, this match also has a lot of history behind it. These two right here, the Pride, Matt Diva and AJ Perez, now representing Team Next Gen, a team that formed because of Parabellum. They were originally brought in to deal with Bushido and stop Bushido from winning Tag Team Gold. And ever since, it has been the Pride versus Parabellum for those tag team titles. They lost the titles to Parabellum in, I believe, the four corners match. It may have been the previously, and they defended. I can't remember. But I remember that Parabellum walked out of those four corners tag team match as the tag champs. The Pride won the titles back from Parabellum in the War Games match, and Parabellum hadn't had a chance to re-challenge the titles due to High Voltage getting shots at the tag titles. But this isn't between Parabellum and Next Gen. It is between the Kings of Violence and Next Gen. And I mean, these two teams have a historied rivalry for this entire season. But that being said, it also is very different because this isn't the Parabellum we know. These are a very different team. The fans are very much behind Matoda Lee and Diego Natoli after betraying their leader of Parabellum. And these two very much so coming into this match, these two teams, I should say, sorry, very much so coming into this match as equals. Like there's no hatred, there's no heat behind these two. They want to settle this as 2 tag teams. May the best team win. No BS, no assaulting, no anything. It's just 2 teams who have a score to settle. And here we have the enforcer, Matoda Lee. Although a very new team, still very much known as the enforcer. And it's weird to not see Matoda Lee and Diego Natoli in that blue and red that we've seen them in for pretty much the entire season. And it is very much the new color of this new Kings of Violence. And it is the color that Jeremiah Stone chose when he came back as a face to challenge for Andre Salas's Intercontinental Championship. I got there eventually. And now you may be wondering, why isn't he challenging Jet Kobayashi in a rematch for the titles? Unfortunately, after Legacy, Jeremiah Stone did suffer an injury and has not been medically cleared to wrestle. He has been allowed to enter here as a manager in this match as long as he does not do anything physical and just cheers his tag team on. And I have a feeling, these guys have turned a new leaf since betraying Parabellum, putting an end to it. And while now being good guys, they're definitely no stranger to violence, hence the name the Kings of Violence. And I mean, these 3 of the Kings of Violence, Diego Natoli, Matoda Lee, Jeremiah Stone, they have been teaming together for many, many years as the Millionaires Club, then as Parabellum, now as the Kings of Violence. And this is the first time they've been faces the entire time that they've been a team. Only a 2 count there. And I mean, I'm going to commend it. They finally realized that they were being manipulated by Trav. They were being used, and ever since War Games, Trav has been on a very interesting path. Basically betraying anyone who he deems as a failure, deems as no longer helpful to the cause of Parabellum and his war on World Wrestling Affliction, which, let's be honest, that war ended at the War Games at Last Stand when Team Next Gen, who should have just been called Team WWA, walked out with all the gold that Parabellum held. Now, you've had Kitty Hagen holding up the women's division for most of the season, but Andre Salas lost the Intercontinental Championship the next month at Road to Destiny, and sorry, was it Road to Destiny or was there one between War Games and Road to Destiny? I can't remember. Nice move there from Natoli. Now you need to get him in the ring because championship advantage is on. Natoli taking time to taunt to the fans. AJ Perez could capitalize, but in a show of good faith, just tagged in Matt Diva, giving him time to taunt to the crowd. There's no, as I said, there's no more animosity between these 2 teams. It is simply they want to put an end to their story that's been told for basically the entire season. But there's no more hatred, no more animosity. That ended at War Games, along with Parabellum's war on basically along with Parabellum's war on World Wrestling Affliction. And again, these two teams need to get it on the inside, as championship advantage is in effect here. Should it end in a countout victory or a double countout, then the tag titles do not change hands. Perez cutter out of nowhere. Goes to the cover now. One. No, Matoda Lee breaks it up. Now Perez getting Natoli back to his feet. Gets him in the corner. Big tag. Tag team move. Kick to the gut. Matt Diva throwing those big kicks. Natoli uses his momentum to shift him out of the way and dodge. Goes to the cover now. One. Only a 1 count. Big back suplex there. Oh, and Natoli with an interesting backbreaker there. Dragging Matt Diva to the middle of the ring. Oh, but Diva rolls out. Very smart. Using his veteran knowledge to get him outside the ring there. Nice suplex there from Diego Natoli. And a Thez press out of nowhere from Natoli onto Perez immediately. Matt Diva's on the outside. Misses the drop kick. Rolls out of the way. Nice spinning DDT from AJ Perez. Busting open Diego Natoli there. And stopping him from getting the pinfall. Natoli rolls to the corner. Now Perez taunting the crowd. Oh! Big splash to the corner. But Natoli counters. And kick to the guts, but Perez with the counter. Now the punches to the face. Big German suplex. These teams know each other very well, and we're seeing that with the counters. Nice face buster there. From Perez, goes to the cover. Could this be it? 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Now Perez. Big Perez cutter. Goes to the cover now. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. No! That was so close to a 3 count. Perez can't believe it. Natoli fighting back. The fans really getting behind these two teams now. As Perez goes to the top rope. Calling Natoli to his feet. Goes for a dive. Natoli counters. Drop kick to the face. Here we go. Picks him up. In the corner now. Finally getting a tag to his tag team partner. And then a kick in the corner from Matoda Lee. Big slam over the head onto a senton. Goes to the cover. Could this be it? 1, 2. Kick out at 2. Matoda Lee can't believe it. Gets him to his feet now. Into the corner. Goes for a tag, but Perez counters before they get a chance to. Big gut buster. Whatever that was. Drop on the knee. Now, big Matt Diva in the ring. But a big lariat immediately from a total Lee. Punches to the face now. Big slam there. And then getting Natoli tagged in. Drop kick. Setting Natoli up now. Big boot to the face. Drops the elbow. Hurricane Rana there. Goes to the cover. One. And a breakup from Matoda Lee after that 1 count. Now Matt Diva dragging him to the middle of the ring. Oh, nice counter from Natoli. Goes to the cover. 1. Kick out at 1 immediately. Definitely not enough for the 3 count there. Matt Diva very much pretty fresh in this match. He hasn't had much in-ring time. It's basically been AJ Perez, but here we go. DNA! DNA! I've been told that is now called the DNA. Stands for the Diego Natoli Assault. And that was so close to a 3 count if it hadn't been for Perez breaking it up. Natoli, big suplex. Oh, here we go. Targeting every limb now. Not the kick to the head. Oh, he's charging up for a second one. He hits it. DNA! Goes for the cover. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. No! That was so close to a 3 count. And Diva is fighting like hell to keep those tag titles in the grasp of Next Gen against the people who have been their rivals. That modified vertebraker dropping him on his head, goes for the cover. This has to be it. 1, 2, 3. And AJ Perez didn't even help his tag team partner. I don't know whether he had faith that he'd kick out or he just couldn't get to him in time. But congratulations to the Kings of Violence, turning a new leaf, coming into this match as the good guys, and leaving as tag team champions. No cheap tricks, no assaults, no cheating, just simply good wrestling. And I mean, you've got to hand it to Matt Diva. He kicked out of 2 DNAs in this match, but it was that vertebraker that dropped him on the head that just was not enough, and AJ Perez did not help to try to stop the pin. And it very much led to the Kings of Violence walking out of Wrestle Empire as the tag team champions, going into season 2 as new champions. And now I'm interested to see what these guys do as they are newly the good guys. You hear the crowd just so behind them, and those tag titles matching their outfits. This is just a perfect end to their season as 2-time tag team champions here in World Wrestling Affliction. Congratulations once again. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our main event of the evening. A submission match. Oh my my God. A submission match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't think of a better way to end the rivalry between Rose Hamilton and Hannah O'Grady than a submission match of all things. I mean, they've had the Underground Rules match, they've had singles competition, but now a submission match. This isn't about who pins each other. This is about who is the better wrestler and who can win via submission here in this match. And there we see the challenger, Rose Hamilton, looking fired up here in this main event of night one. As she stares down the ring, and across from her, we see this woman right here, Hannah O'Grady. Now, both these women's history needs no introduction. I've gone over it multiple times, but I'll go over it once again. They both debuted together in that 6-woman over the top rope battle royal where we brought 6 new rookies into the match, and one of them came down. One of them walked out with a #1 contendership for that Women's Intercontinental Championship around Hannah O'Grady's waist. And now we know the history. It came down to these two. After a brutal brawl, Rose Hamilton finally got the win. And then during the title match that she earned, Hannah O'Grady interrupted, DQing her, costing her the shot at the title. And they've been brawling all around the arena every single week since. They've had the Underground Rules match where Hannah O'Grady walked out as champion. They've had and they've just been brawling ever since. They've had singles competition. Hannah O'Grady always comes out on top on Rose Hamilton. This is Rose Hamilton's last shot at Hannah O'Grady's Women's Intercontinental Championship here tonight. And it is in submission action. Will we see Rose Hamilton finally overcome Hannah O'Grady, or will Hannah O'Grady prove her dominance more here in this match by beating Rose Hamilton finally and putting a nail in the coffin that is this rivalry? You got to think one of these women will move on into next season, challenging having Taryn Sky challenge them as the #1 contender for the match. For the title, I should say. Sorry, I'm getting a bit loopy, and I've still got 2 more nights to record. This is not good. But the big rolling slam. And here we go, locking in a submission. Getting a rope break in a submission match? And then the punches to the face. Rose Hamilton just beating down on Hannah O'Grady here. Oh, and locking in. Oh, I was going to say, oh, never mind. She was going for a submission, but Hannah O'Grady grabbed the ropes. And I am being informed, yes, rope breaks are a rule in submission, giving them a chance to fight out of submissions that they can't actually get out of. Now, headlock here from Rose Hamilton. And a toss off, a drop down, leapfrog, misses the elbow. Rose Hamilton stops her momentum. And then the flurry of kicks out of nowhere. Calling O'Grady to her feet. Goes for another kick. O'Grady catches it. Now O'Grady with a bunch of punches of her own. Now these two very much mixed martial arts and fighting styles. And Rose Hamilton expertly rolled out of the ring, hiding from O'Grady there. Wait, a count out in a submission match? What is this ref doing? This is not meant to be a count out match. I'm getting word that the ref is not meant to be making countouts. This is meant to be a no countout match. She's apparently not wearing her earpiece at the moment, or she would be told not to count. But nevertheless, they bring the action back in the ring. Rose Hamilton stomping the hand of Hannah O'Grady. Drops the knee to the face. Just attacking every limb. A brilliant strategy here in this match. Oh, here we go. And a rope break again. Almost locked in a brilliant Kimura lock. Knee to the face. Goes to the top rope. Pulling O'Grady to her feet. Big elbow off the top rope there. And again, just assaulting the limbs of Hannah O'Grady. Pulling O'Grady to stand up once again. Oh, and a counter from O'Grady. Drop down. Big spine buster. Kicks in the gut. Locks in a submission. Could we see a tap here? No, immediately rolls out of it. Gets her on the rope now. Once again, targeting those arms. Nice lariat there. Oh, nice spear there. Now, once again, targeting just every limb on the body of Hannah O'Grady. Pulling her to her feet. Once again to the top rope. She does realize this is a submission match, right? Not a on the top rope match. Now O'Grady misses the kick, misses the punch. I think she's kind of dazed. She's just throwing assault everywhere, trying to land something. As Rose Hamilton's just out wrestling Hannah O'Grady here in this match. For the last 5 or so minutes of this match, if not longer, this has been Rose Hamilton's match. Hannah O'Grady barely getting any offense in lately. You can see the fatigue in O'Grady. She dragged Hamilton to the middle, but didn't know where to go from there. And O'Grady finally fighting back. Hamilton in the corner. Drop down. Leapfrog. Oh, missed the drop kick. I think O'Grady's finally getting her senses back to her. I don't know what rocked her, but something definitely made her dazed and confused for a bit. She was just wildly throwing kicks and punches, hoping to hit something. Oh, big knee to the face from Hamilton. And an elbow to the gut. Goes for a spear, but Hannah O'Grady countered. Oh, and knocks O'Grady to the outside. And O'Grady trips her up, busting her open by the looks. And Hamilton slamming her into those stairs. Once again, targeting those limbs. Now again, the ref should not be calling countouts here. And O'Grady with the tackle. Well, yes, I'm informed rope breaks are legal due to giving them a way to break out of submissions they can't break out of. It should not be a countout victory. And Hamilton throwing O'Grady in the ring, or trying to throw O'Grady, but O'Grady fell over. And a 10 count? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm confused. So this shouldn't have been a count-out match. They should have been allowed to fight it in and outside of the ring. So Rose Hamilton won, but technically, championship advantage means that Hannah O'Grady keeps the title. But it shouldn't have been a count-out anyway. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep you updated. Congratulations, Rose Hamilton. We will see you in night 2 for the next edition of Wrestle Empire.